Welcome to Geektopia with myself, Adam Carruthers. This is Geek Squad, a segment within the channel where we can sit down and discuss something which we've all agreed to watch. And by the way, we're taking recommendations. Leave it below. We've already had quite a few. We want them to come in even more. And when we do the review, we want you involved as well. So I would like to welcome, as per usual, Chief Jantan, Hadis the Goddess, Aaron, Papi Zach, who is dressed to the nines, fitting the theme of today's movie, which I'll introduce shortly. We have Lavania Christopher. I've never really said your full name, but I'll just call you LeVar Burton because it's much easier for me. And we finally have the one and only Carvin J as well. Now, the movie we chose to watch this week is none other than Nobody, not to be confused with Mr. Nobody, a Jared Leto movie from 2009. This one's just called Nobody. And I have to say, it was awesome. Bob Odenkirk, who we know more from Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. Maybe you're a fan of his comedy, which he's done quite extensively. The guy was a writer of comedy before for people like Conan O'Brien and Saturday Night Live. Now he is a bona fide action hero. So, firstly, because he's fitting the theme of the bad guy, the big bad in the movie, Julian Papi Zach, did you like this movie?
I must say it's not my cup of vodka. It's not.
Really?
Okay. Action's good, but I have to say, story-wise, it's like what you call rinse, wash, and repeat. You know.
Carvin, you're nodding your head in agreement there.
Yes, because it's a Europop John Wick. Okay, that's what it is. It's basically a rehashed, like, you know, basically the Eurovision Song Contest of action movies. It's just, I don't know, it felt like, it just didn't click as much. Like the story was very fast paced. There was no time for me to kind of, relate to the characters as much as I wanted to. Yeah, I know he's got a bad marriage, blah, 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 and all that. Then, you see he's a good guy because he didn't kill the person who had, unloaded gun, whatever, and then he just wants to go back to the life. But I just never had that connection with the characters for me to go like, oh yeah, I see why he's doing this. I see why he wants to do all this. I mean, some of the parts were great when the dad with the shotgun stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, the whole time I just keep thinking to myself, this is such a Europop version of
that's why I loved it, because I didn't expect a deep movie with this. I just expected some overblown. It's sort of like, okay, so one of the writers of, I think it was John Wick 2, maybe he wrote all three, I'm not sure, but he also wrote this movie. It felt like John Wick meets 1980s action, like some of the liners in it.
Yes.
It felt very 80s, and the way they all lined up at the end and they're all shooting their guns with the music and stuff, it felt very 80s, but at the same time it had the slickness in parts of John Wick. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I mean which is why I called it Europop John Wick. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it felt like he was taking a lot from John Wick without actually giving anything back. You get what I'm saying? Like it took all the action, the good parts, but give me a reason why I need to like these characters. There's no reason for me to like these characters at all.
LeVar Burton, did you like it?
It was okay lah. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was that bad, but I will agree with what Kavin said and Papi said. It was just purely for entertainment, I would say, the movie, right? Like, I watched it last week during Raya night and I somehow forgot about it already. Like the whole storyline. I'm so sorry to say that. I only remember like some funny parts and then like the action part, which was the ending one. And then I don't know why the ending, I thought the old man, the dad was going to die.
Do you know?
I just had that feeling like, oh my god, is he gonna die? Is he gonna die? Because he's an old man, and then like, he's shooting stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god, I wish he died lah.
Did you know who the dad is, by the way? Who that actor is?
I googled him. I think he was from the Back to the Future person.
I think.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yes.
He plays Doc Brown, Dr. Emmett Brown. He also, people always forget, but he played a character in the Addams Family, Uncle Fester as well. It looks completely different. The guy is a legend. He is a living legend. He's 82, I think, now, and he's doing movies like this.
And he still doesn't look like he aged at all from Back to the Future.
That's the thing. Yeah. Hadis the Goddess, action. Yes.
I like
movie.
action.
Yes, yes, yes. I do love John Wick, but when I went to watch it. I watched the trailer, so I get the action sense, and I went to watch the movie with the mind that I'm not looking for a story. I just wanted to see action,
Same. Yeah.
and so I got that from the movie. I love action movies, so I know the story is fast paced and quite like done there. Like it's already done. We've seen it before, but I just like watching action. Like he's
Yeah.
beating up people. So yes, I like the movie.
Hey, Aaron, what about you? Did you like the movie?
I enjoyed the movie, but I feel like I don't get the background of the main character. Like we know he's a badass. Like for example, when the Russian gangster, one of the assistant, a girl, was searching up who is he, right, online, right, and then she packed her things and then she threw the files. It's like I'm out. I'm going back to my own country. So that's like the tiny bit of brief information about him. So we technically don't know what he actually did in the past. We know that he's a like I don't know. Maybe is he like I'm not really sure. Is he his dad was from the FBI? Is it?
But doesn't that leave it open for a sequel?
Yeah,
Like
I think
that to me,
that's why.
that leaves it to a sequel. Like John Wick has 3.
Yeah.
It leaves it to a sequel. Yeah, yes, you get to know him. He can do stuff. He can beat up people, but nobody knows his background. But he's so powerful that he can just say his name, I'm nobody, and that's it.
That's code name, is it?
Well, don't forget when they see his tattoo as well. Is it left arm or right
the
arm?
7 and 2 of hearts, right?
Yeah, it means death or something. I looked it up.
Okay.
But he became famous for that. It's something along those lines.
I
And
feel there is there's a lot room for a sequel to this movie.
okay,
I totally get you, Hadis, with the whole like mysterious background. I was fine with that, but I guess they didn't really. I mean, delve into the issue of like why is he in such a broken family? Like no sex with the wife, the son
That one I
doesn't
can
respect.
understand.
You
I
can
completely
understand.
understood
That one,
part.
all marriage
That one
is
is I agree.
I think for me, I kind of did. I thought that when he got back to killing, that's when he rediscovered the spark in his marriage. He was putting up a facade, like he says. He knew it was a facade all along, and that's why his life was so mundane and so lousy, because he wasn't being himself. That's how I interpreted it.
So how did he get the family in the first place?
Probably because he
wanted.
He wanted it, like he said, and secondly, he hadn't gone too deep down that rabbit hole of living a facade yet.
Yeah.
But as time progressed, I think, what does he say? He got a little bit too into it I can't remember the exact line.
Yeah, but also when he came back and then his wife was like, oh my God, and start helping him. And then he said, oh, like an old time.
Yeah.
So it's like he represented that maybe she loved him being him and being the person he is, and not being that 9 to 5 guy who doesn't do anything.
Yeah. And when it comes to the background, I kind of gathered from the fact that every time he tries to explain what he did to people, they die. They die while he's talking. And I think that was done on purpose. But my impression was he is the guy the CIA sends in that nobody wants to see. The auditor. He is the cleaner. Well, yeah. He's the guy before the cleaner. I think he's the guy that just goes in to finish things up, and then the cleaner comes in to wash away any trace of it happening.
Which not that kind of cleaner.
I know what you mean. He's the guy that cleans up shop, right? That goes in, kills everybody, and cleans up shop. Did you, since Hadis brought up the sequel, did anybody here actually stay to see the mid-credit sequence?
Yeah.
It's the mid-credit sequence?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few confused faces.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
I missed it.
No, there's a mid-credit sequence with the dad and his mate, Riza, played by Riza.
Brother.
His brother. Okay, his brother. They're in a car, and it looks like the Californian coastline. They're driving in a van, and they're like, "Why don't we take a flight?" And then it's like, "Well, we can't with all the luggage." And they pan to the back, and it's just stacked
full of
guns, just full of guns. And then they keep driving.
You see, the thing is, they give us enough information to kind of hook you in, but not enough to make you care enough to go for the second part. Like, for instance, if they came up with two body or nobody Tokyo Drift, blah blah, after this, nobody care, because you know why? The first one didn't give us enough information to care about the movie enough. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Even up to a point, Expendables, even up to a point, the Fast and the Furious. You know, they gave us enough to care about the movie and the characters that we want to. Okay lah, if there's a second one, we watch it. This one for me, like even the first one also didn't give us enough to care about the movie to go and look forward to. Oh, who's the next? I mean, what's the next movie going to be about? You know, are we going to learn more about? I don't care. Dude.
But okay, going on the action, right? I like how they choreographed it to Bob's capabilities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Realistic.
It was very realistic. You didn't see him do like ninja flips and like, you know,
Yeah.
360.
And I liked the fact that he got punched. He wasn't all that, you know, a steel man and then all that. He got punched and he fall on the floor and
That's like John Wick.
Rusty.
Yeah. That's for me. There's just not too many movies. I mean, if they were coming out every week, fair enough. But for me, they're not. I just want to see more. I haven't even asked Chief Jantan if he liked it. I know he likes 80s action movies.
Yeah, I liked it. But I'm biased because I like Bob Odenkirk, so I pretty much like everything he's in. I like to watch him kicking ass instead of the usual. If you saw him in Better Call Saul, he's like the coward running away from everything. So this is like a huge turnaround of a character. So I really enjoy watching him kick ass.
Yeah, or very sleazy and like in Breaking Bad as well. And I know another reason why Calvin doesn't like it is because they used Liverpool's theme song in it, and he's a Manchester United supporter.
But I laughed so hard when they played that song. I saw the back of my brain. Okay, why? There is absolutely no point for them to use "You'll Never Walk Alone." There was no point for this.
He's into the classics. What you gonna do?
It is technically it is a classic tune. It wasn't written for Liverpool. It's just that Liverpool adapted it as a theme song. Jerry and the Pacemakers.
I get it, but there was absolutely no point. It didn't fit the scene at all. The other movies like Nina Simone's, Misunderstood. Everything else, like the audio track for me was amazing.
You'll Never Walk Alone. He's not alone. He's got his appa and his
The problem is it did not fit. It just did not fit.
It did fit.
So weird.
You'll
when
Never
the
Walk
song
Alone
started, my eyes started rolling. I was like, why?
But the lyrics fit perfectly. Like you said, Nina Simone Misunderstood. This fits perfectly because he's not alone. Because he's got his mate, and his father.
This fit better than Paris Hilton did in Promising Young Woman.
Oh God, yeah.
No, that one at least got reason. It's a stupid song. They wanted to, bond on the stupid song. This one was just a stupid song played for no reason.
Zach,
Maybe
come
the
on.
director's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, Liverpool. Zach, you're the Liverpool fan here. Did it make sense? Do you feel?
Yes, it made sense. But what doesn't make sense is how your Indian Tourette's came out. I was there, lah.
Because I need to relate, because Calvin needs to relate to everything. So I'm helping Calvin relate to it, like Appa and Ane there, Or Tambi. I don't know who's older or younger.
Ane is older.
No, in the movie, I don't know who's older or
movie,
younger. So, because Rizzo looks young, but you just never know. Levy, what do you reckon? Do you feel need a connection with the hero to enjoy an action movie?
Yes, I actually wanted a better story where he eventually becomes nobody. Like that person, I mean, I didn't expect that guy on the bus, the boy, is someone like a villain's brother, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
And I also expected the villain to be more badass.
Julian.
Yeah, like he was just too comedy. Especially when he took the chair and then he threw it at the guy. I'm like, okay, that was funny. That was funny.
That is Levy's idea of comedy. That's very scary.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Like, who would take a chair and then throw at you and then hit you? That's just funny. That's pure entertainment. It's not really like something a villain, especially a Russian person, would do. I was expecting more badass for him.
Or like going on stage and dancing.
Yeah,
and singing.
Yeah. That's why it's.
That's why he broke the glass and started stabbing the guy.
And killed the shareholder.
He's a 3% shareholder. Okay, guys, we got more shares now.
Yeah. Everyone's a little bit happier there. I think that's a really good point though. The big bad wasn't as badass as he could have been. Hey, Aaron, you haven't said anything in a little while, buddy. Do you want more from your bad guys? If there was a sequel to this movie, would you want to watch it?
Would agree with Kevin. I cannot care much to watch a prequel or a continuation of this movie. It's just straight up, if you want action, it's just action. Don't dive too deep in it. Yeah. Don't put too much in it. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I
just on
think
me.
that should be the next question across the board. Who wants to see a sequel? So if you're not too fast, Carvin's not too fast. I want to see a sequel. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, and 3 of you. I guess reflective of the film. You either love it or you hate it. It's like Marmite. So I guess for a few of us we do love it. For some others we don't. Let's get some ratings in. So firstly, Chief Jantan, give it a score out of 10, buddy.
I love the action scene. I mean, it was really, really well shot. But I gotta take away points for like the song. I take away points for the song.
He
You
had
know,
it.
that's it. Just because of the song, it's now only 6 points for me.
Okay. All right. Without the song, what would it have been?
Maybe 7.5.
Mr. Carvin J, what about
Right.
you?
I give it a 5. Flat 5.
Five.
It would have been a 6, but apparently they don't walk alone, so 5 lah.
5. All right. Levy,
I would just give it a 6 lah.
a 6. Okay. Hadis,
7.
7. All right. Oh, he's still going strong, Chief Jantan. Well, he's holding up either a new scarf or the other side of the scarf he originally had with United there. Premiership. That's how old it is because it says Premiership. What year is that? I can't see. 20 what?
28th,
2017. 2017. What about yourself, Puppy Zachary?
I give it a 7.
A 7.
Clearly,
Okay.
clearly.
I'm gonna probably have to give it a 7.5. Having someone like Christopher Lloyd, having the RZA in it.
Yo, they had Michael Iron fucking side, bro.
There you go. To have some of those really cool actors in a movie, Bob Odenkirk, who trained for 2 years for this, really changed
he's
his body. He's like 58. He completely changed. When he shot it, he's probably like 56. But
we didn't get to see the body.
we didn't get to see the body, but we got to see that he could be physical, And when he's wearing a shirt, he's not bullshit.
Sorry. Speaking of bullshit, like I
Yeah,
think
Zach.
they didn't use Michael Ironside enough. I
Enough?
mean, because he's always known as that 80s bad guy, right?
Yeah.
They should have used him like instead of just being the father-in-law. I thought it was just a waste of Michael Ironside for me. I was excited to see him, I was like, yeah, Michael Ironside, come on, do something badass. Oh no, he just wants to go.
Yeah. And now he's bullshit. Maybe that's why. But one of the most badass names in Hollywood history, Ironside.
That's
Michael
why.
Ironside. It's so cool. So cool. I'm going to give it that rating. I am looking forward to a sequel. They did set it up with him receiving the call at the end. And for those that didn't see the mid-credit sequence, it also involves his dad, who's fully out of retirement, along with his buddy. Definitely something to look forward to. Why don't you leave a comment about what you want us to watch next? Thanks once again to everybody in the conversation. We will be back, same time, same place, this Bat channel next time.